what I'm going to be talking about today is a basic overview of sort of why we do randomized experiments in program evaluation. This is kind of a lecture that kind of dips into stuff that you've already talked about yesterday. It's probably going to be introducing things that you will sort of conceptually be repeating as we go along, and introduce some new concepts along the way. So what we're doing, so yesterday, you went over sort of generally what evaluation is, the various sort of levels of program evaluation and types of evaluation. And then you talked about measurement, and here we are talking about why randomizing assignment to programs might be a good idea in terms of understanding impacts of these programs. Okay, so a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about. I'll go through some basic vocabulary for impact evaluation. There's really only 2 or 3 things to kind of hold on to from that. We'll be talking about randomized evaluation, just an overview of that. Other methods of impact evaluation and comparing them with randomized evaluation, and then we'll wrap up. Okay. All right, so the way impact evaluation falls into just general program evaluation, and I believe you went through all of this yesterday. Start with your needs assessment, understand the problem that you're trying to address, think about the program that is trying to address this problem. You do your process evaluation and think about whether the basic steps that the program is supposed to be taking observationally are actually doing so. Does the program appear to be working in the way that it's supposed to be working, just in terms of process? And then impact evaluation is thinking about the goals and the impacts on the final outcomes that you care about, right? Were the program's goals achieved, and what were the magnitudes? And with those 2 things in hand, you can go ahead and do a cost-effectiveness analysis and try to understand whether the program is cost-effective relative to other programs that are meant to solve the same sort of needs, the same initial problem that you started out with similar outcomes indicators. Okay? This should all be kind of review from yesterday. All right. So now we'll get into the basic vocabulary for impact evaluation. Okay. So going back to an example that I believe you spoke about yesterday, the immunization incentives in Udaipur. So the problem is, despite the availability of free immunization, full coverage rates among children remains extremely low in many developing countries, including in India. The intervention is reliable monthly immunization camps set up in villages in Udaipur district in Rajasthan. And they provide small incentives to mothers if they bring their children in and have them immunized, with a larger incentive at the end if they complete a full course of immunization. So that's the setup. I think this was discussed yesterday. Okay, so this is, again, a review question, essentially. So which of these questions would make a good question for impact evaluation? So the first one, what percentage of 3-year-old children in Rajasthan were not immunized? What is the correlation between regular immunization camps and immunization rates? Or does holding a regular immunization camp, providing these incentives, improve the immunization rates of children? So do you all have your clickers? Can you clicker your answers?